Hello viewers, welcome to this week in history on Fleet TV. As you all know, people without the knowledge of their past history, culture and origin is like a tree without roots. If you don't know anything about history, you don't know anything. So, welcome to this week in history on Fleet TV. Hi, I'm Adeni Adiola. Welcome. Now, the headlines. September 19, 2011, earthquake hit India, Nepal and Tibet. September 20, 2001, Global War on Terror by President George W. Bush. September 21, Mend leader Tion Of Akwa was arrested in Angola. September 22, 1921, chemical plant explosion in Germany. September 23, 1987, creation of Akwa Ibom state. Now the news in details. The earthquake hit India, Nepal and Tibet. It's a very deadly one. Okay, let's read. Okay. Strong earthquake hit India, Nepal and Tibet. At least 50 killed by 6.9 magnitude earthquake as rescue workers struggle to reach remote areas. At least 100,000 homes were damaged by the 6.9 magnitude earthquake which happened on a Sunday night. The earthquake struck near the border between India and Nepal, and there have been reports of at least 2 powerful aftershocks. Many of the damaged villages are in remote areas which are now cut off from the outside world. Officials said that rain and landslides are making the search for survivors even more difficult. Across the border in Nepal, soldiers have been brought in search for survivors where the conditions are just as difficult as in India. Global War on Terror by President George Bush. September 20, 2001, President George W. Bush demanded that the Taliban stop harboring members of Al-Qaeda and warned that the global war on terror would not end until terrorism was eradicated. Our war on terror begins with Al-Qaeda, but it does not end there. It will not end there until every terrorist group of global reach has been found, stopped, and defeated. The president announced that he had signed an executive order to freeze the assets of terrorist groups and other entities that funded terrorist activity. This was the beginning of efforts to deny financing to terrorists and terrorist groups. He said, and by the way, the list is just a beginning. We will continue to add more names to the list. We will freeze the assets of others as we find the way that they hate and abet terrorist organizations around the world. We have established a foreign terrorist asset tracking center at the Department of the Treasury to identify and investigate the financial infrastructure of the international terrorist networks. So on his orders, a little more than an hour ago, the United States military began strikes against Al-Qaeda, terrorist training camps and military installations of the Taliban regime in Afghanistan. At the same time, the oppressed people of Afghanistan will know the generosity of America and our allies. As we strike military targets, we also drop food, medicine, and supplies to the surviving and suffering men and women of children of Afghanistan. The United States of America is a friend to the Afghan people. And we are the friends of almost 1 billion worldwide who practice the Islamic faith. The United States of America is an enemy of those who aid terrorists and of the barbaric criminals who profane a great religion by committing murder in his name. The next one we have here is Mend leader Tion Of Akwa was arrested in Angola. I don't know Tion Of Akwa, so let's get to know who he is. So the presumed head of the Nigerian armed group, the Movement for the Emancipation of the Niger Delta, who goes under the name of Tion Of Akwa, has been arrested in Angola, sources said. Nigerian security sources who asked not to be identified said Tion Of Akwa was arrested by the Angolan authorities while negotiating an arms deal. The time of the arrest is not known, but rumors of it were already in circulation 1 week ago. Diplomatic sources have in the past established a link between Jomo Gbomo and a man traveling on a Benin Republic passport in the name of Henry Okra. There has been no comment from the Nigerian, Angloan, or South African authorities since he was arrested then on September 21, 2007. Is the leader of a terrorist group, and he was arrested. He's a Nigerian, but he was arrested in Anglo. Yes, he was arrested there. In Angola. I'm sorry. In Angola, he was arrested there. He was arrested while dealing in arms. You know what I mean by that. So let's go to the next one. September 22, 1921, chemical plant explosion in Germany. Hundreds of people were killed in Opal in an explosion at a chemical plant. It ripped the roofs from houses and sent shock waves across neighboring towns. More than 1,000 people were killed and several thousand injured as a result of the explosion that destroyed parts of the great chemicals works near Ludwigshafen on the Rhine, which were so often attacked during the air raids. In the war has been one of the principal sources of these poison gases used by the Germans. The catastrophe was of such an overwhelming nature that communication with Opal, the locality where the disaster took place, was cut off, rendering it difficult to obtain full and accurate reports. It was exactly 7:30 morning when the terrific explosion occurred at Opal in one of the numerous buildings of the famous Badice, Anlin, and Sodak fabric, which extend along the Rhine from Ludwigshafen for a distance of about 2 miles. It is believed that the explosion was due to an excess of pressure in two gasometers which stood side by side. That part of the works was literally pulverized. Where the gasometer stood is now a vast crater, more than 100 yards across and 30 yards deep. Oh, this one is actually happening today, but then it was created then. It's happening live today. So, creation of Akwa Ibom State. September 23rd, 1987, Akwa Ibom was created. I don't know. I'm just getting to know that. So that's why it's good to know your history. Akwa Ibom State was created on the 23rd of September 1987 by the then military administration of General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. The creation of the state brought to fruition years of prolonged struggle by the people that occupied the mainland parts of the former Cross River states. For many, the creation of the state was a mark of justice, having been left out in earlier state creation exercise despite leading the struggle for state creation in Nigeria. Through the Ibibio Union, a former socio-cultural organization that served as a unifying platform for the people of these parts of Nigeria. In 1948, Ibibio Union formed in 1928 transformed from a mere cultural association to a goal-driven institution which promoted and championed the cause of state creation in Nigeria. However, when in 1967 the 12th state structure was established following the creation of states by the General Yakubu Gowon administration, the mainland part of Calabar province in the then eastern Nigeria was merely part of the then southeastern states. In 1976, southeastern state was renamed Cross River States. This change in name did not satisfy the people, rather, it encouraged them to carry on with the struggle for a state of their own. After the collapse of the Second Republic in 1983, a memorandum demanding the creation of Akwa Ibom State was submitted to the General Buhari administration by the paramount rulers from the 10 local government areas that made up the mainland parts of the state. Even though it did not yield the desired results. Undaunted, the people waited for another opportunity. This opportunity came in 1986. The administration of General Ibrahim Babangida set up a political bureau to define the future political direction of the country. This was resubmitted. So on September 23rd, 1987, the collective dream of the people was actualized as Akwa Ibom State, the land of promise, was finally created, and after about 4 decades of sustained agitation. So today they are currently celebrating the birth of Akwa Ibom State. So, lying between latitude 40.32 and 50.33 north and longitude 70.35 and 80.25 east, the state is bounded on the east by River State, on the west by Cross River State, on the north by Abia State, and on the south by the Gulf of Guinea. Akwa Ibom State is one of the 36 states in the Nigerian Federation. The state is divided into 31 local government areas, with Uyo as the state capital. Other major towns include Eket, Ikot Ekpene, Ikot Abasi, and Orion, Abak, Itu, Etnan, Ibenon, and so forth and so on. The people of Akwa Ibom State are culturally homogeneous with a common identity and are reputed to be the first settlers in the present-day southeastern Nigeria. The 3 major dialectical groups are Ibibio, Anang, and Oron. Ibibio, Anang, and Oron. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrongly. Other subgroups include Eket, Ibeno, Itu Imbonuso, and the Adonis. English is the language of the government and business. Okay, their population. With the annual growth rate of the population projected at 3.4%, the 2016 projected population is estimated at 5,451,277 people as follows. Female, 200,000. Wow. Female. No, it's 2 million. No. Female, 2,680,687 females. And male, 2,077,590. Total, that's 5,450,758. That's the population. Akwa Ibom falls within the tropical zone with a dominant vegetation of green foliage of trees and shrubs. It constitutes a major chunk of the nation's oil palm belt. They are blessed. The Atlantic coastline stretches 129 kilometers from Orion in the east to Ikot Abasi in the west. The state also has 3 distinct vegetation zones: the saline water swamp forest, the freshwater swamp forest, and the rainforest. Hey God, they are indeed blessed. The main economic activities of these people are fishing, farming, trading, and artisanship, and also white-collar services. Oh, I think we are kind of educated. A robust public sector employs significant proportion of the state's labor force. Akwa Ibom State's average growth is estimated at 3.2%. Let's talk about their culture. Akwa Ibom is often described as a unicultural state where norms, taboos, customs, and traditions are the same. The folkways may vary from one ethnic grouping to another, but the operational cultural norms are basically the same all over the state. The cultural similarities bind the people together, especially in such areas as cuisines, dressing, dancing, and songs. Rituals, folklore, beliefs, and myths. Almost all aspects of its culture have potentials to provide fascinating experiences for tourists and for investment opportunities. So I don't want to end this, but then we have to go. That is all we have to know about the creation of Akwa Ibom State and earthquake that hit India in September 19, 2011, and also global war on terror by President W. Bush then September 20, 2001. Chemical plant explosion in Germany September 22, 1921. And men leader Jomo Bomo arrested in Angola September 21, 2007. This is all we have on This Week in History. Remember, you have to know your history. If you don't know your history, you don't know anything. Thank you for staying tuned. I remain Adeni Adela. Bye. See you next week, Friday. Bye.